It's time. Week 6. Blah, 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 blah. Week 6 Ask Smitty show. We're talking Week 6 buy lows, Ask Smitty segment, and fantasy news, which we'll get into first. Blah, 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 blah. Top 5 running back.
You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
What up? Who's first in the house? Savvy got in here first. What's going on, Daryl? What's going on, Colt? What's going on, Jarrett? Welcome, all of you. God, I can't talk today. Wipe your feet at the door when you come in, which means you need to like the video before you step foot into house, the Fantasy Football Show. If I could speak tonight, damn, one of those nights. I've been dropping stuff all day, too. Today has not been my day. I dropped a soda on the ground, shot the cap right off, and it was like all over. Fumbled around all over the place tonight. Tonight's one of those nights. What's up, Ramos? What's up, Colt? Posner in the house. What's going on? Jeremy, what up? So let's get into the fantasy news. Let me plug in, and we'll go through some of the news. But after we do news, we'll do some buy lows real quick, and then we'll get into the Q&A. Welcome to the show. If you haven't subscribed, please hit subscribe right now. Leave a like, as Mayo just said, which I'm going to put this brain, massive man that has a big size brain, leaving comments like this. I'm going to make sure that that's a big statement on the screen there. What's up? Big timer in the house. Matt says wipe the door. That's true. Okay, so in the news today, Barkley slap with the limited tag. Let's see what this means. Remain limited on Tuesday. The Giants are trying to keep the illusion alive that Barkley may play. He's not going to play this week. But as it's saying here, Week 7 return is definitely a possibility, so get ready. We were all hoping he'd play this week. Kind of a shame Barkley's not going to be in the lineup this week. They kind of made it feel that way with some of the video footage, news wires everywhere, with him bouncing around, dancing, almost looking like he was going to be a machine. Watts is trying to drop a funny in here. Watts says, Henry, I'm not scared to call it out. I'm not scared. Other people might ignore these comments. I'll put it right here. Henderson, the next Kamara. He's laughing at me. Watts is laughing. Well, Watts, you know what? One carry. I'm not about to call the guy a bust. Let's see what happens when he gets a chance. Not everybody delivers the first time they get one carry. Just let you know. His situation blows for the moment. But will that change? I hope so. If it doesn't, then I'm wrong about a 6th or 7th round pick that you may have had. Hope you didn't lose your league in the 7th round. I appreciate you anyways. Stay tuned for more on that one. Let's not judge him entirely yet. What's going on, Charles? Fly, Lit, Kevin, Mark, Joshua, Jack, and of course Watts. Hello to you as well. Traded Bell today. Gave up Goff, Boyd, and Demont. I like that. Traded for Bell. Nice job. We're putting a hold on the David Montgomery project, guys. We have to. What more can I say? He's not getting the work. Odell, too. I mean, I'm not saying bench Odell, but Odell, my expectations have now dropped. The Browns blow. And it's really disappointing. And I take accountability for my Baker Mayfield call. I take accountability for my Odell Beckham Jr., although I think he still has time to deliver. But he's not looking good. Things do not look good for the Browns. Chubb is going to be hampered every other week by this offense. He'll do well one week. Then he'll get shut down because of the flow of game the next week. Chubb will be a little bit inconsistent like that. That's why I'm not opposed to selling Chubb on the high if he has a big game. Try and somehow give another player and get an Alvin Kamara. Somehow trying to give another player right now and go get a Zeke Elliott. Ingram upgraded to limited on Tuesday. Game time decision. But we should have clarity by Wednesday afternoon on Evan Ingram. So let's keep an eye on him. Big difference for the Giants if they can get at least a playmaker like him on the field. Otherwise, it's going to be one tough outing in week 5 or week 6 for the Giants. Big defensive game for the Patriots, right? Rex Burkhead, another limited tag on Tuesday. Philip Dorsett missed another practice. I can read it on screen here. Cam Newton out for week 6. James Washington questionable. Jalen Samuels out for at least a month. That is big news because it's good for James Conner, but it's also good for Benny Snell, who I think you kind of had to pair Samuels and Snell together. That's been the recipe all offseason, and a lot of people can't hold and maintain 2 backups to the starter. I get that. That's kind of why I avoided James Conner in a lot of leagues, because I feel like you need to have all of them. And right now, this is good news for James Conner, but he has trouble staying healthy. He's already been banged up twice. And at some point, I do think Snell is going to get a start. And what he does with that, he's averaging 5 yards a carry. I have a lot of people coming at me saying, Smitty, Snell's look really bad. What are you talking about? Snell had like 1 carry. He's had 5 or 6 carries. I think maybe 5. 5 or 6. I think it's 6. He's had 6 carries all year. Saklan with the super chat. So how can you say that Snell's look bad? Snell has 5.0 yards per carry. Snell had one, I think, 23 or 22 yard carry in week 2 or week 3. I don't have it right in front of me, but how does he look bad? So at some point, I think he does get a start. He's a good pickup. Make sure if Snell, and Snell's probably available. If Snell's available, pick him up in your league. Saklan with the double, with the double. Win streak started 0-3. Love you lots. 2-game win streak. So now you're 2-3. Nice job, Saklan. Very proud of your comeback. Don't give up. Even if you're 1-4, don't give up, guys. Keep trying. Hit the waiver wire hard. Try and pick up those guys like Benny Snell that can make a difference down the stretch. Pick up the backup for the Carolina Panthers, Bonafont, however you say his last name. He's a decent grab, especially if you're a McCaffrey owner, but he looked pretty good. And if McCaffrey went down, I think they'd use him to a decent degree. I don't know. I'm not saying he's going to score anywhere near even high running back 2 numbers, but he might be like a very low end running back 2 if you ever got, accidentally copied and pasted. Did not mean to do that. No problem. Well, no problem, especially if you sent it to me, Saklan. You're the man. Thank you for liking. I appreciate it. Hey, Smitty. What I think of Lev Bell's ceiling? I think Lev Bell has... I think right now you got to rank him at like 8 to 12 for running backs, but as soon as Sam Darnold, I don't even know what the status is on Darnold. Let's look it up. As soon as Darnold's back, I think we're just waiting. Then I think Bell returns to like 7 to 10 value or 7 to 12. Darnold will start week 6, so that's great news for Lev Bell. Lev Bell vaults right into, I think, the top 7 to 10, 7 to 11. Yeah, bona fide pickup. That's good, Michael. That's a good one. Bonafont is a bona fide pickup in week 6. Manning says, any word on DJ's back? Not yet, but pick up Chase Edmonds if you have DJ. You want to make sure you back him up properly. My team is Watson, Chubb, Carryon, Montgomery, Hopkins, Woods, Kittle. I have Josh Gordon, DJ as well. What should I give up for Zeke or Dalvin Cook? Chubb and Woods for Zeke. Something like that, I'd try. You really want to get rid of David Montgomery? Well, you're not going to be able to trade him. So you're going to have to hold on to him and wait for a big game. About to trade DJ and DD for Kamara. I'm on board with that. I worry a little bit about DJ's back, and I also worry about inconsistency in that Cardinals offense. They look bad at times, good at times, bad at times, more so confusing at times. So I'd rather have Kamara. Kamara feels solid, rock solid. picking up off waivers start Witten or McDonald. If McDonald's a go and everything looks good, I'd probably go McDonald, but that's a coin toss, close type call. Just traded Adams, Fuller, Dak for Bell. Luke, that could go either way. I'm not going to say you won it or lost it. It's kind of like, it all depends on Adams, man. You could regret that if Adams is Adams, and if Fuller maintains really good value moving forward. No one can expect what he did in week 6 or week 5 to reoccur on even one game, let alone the season. But I mean, if he ends up solidifying himself as a very good wide receiver 3, maybe low end wide receiver 2, which he could, or he could fall off the map again. He didn't do anything for 5 weeks, so it's not for 4 weeks. I think it's not. Why do I keep mixing up week 5 and week 6? I don't know what I'm doing. I keep saying 5. That's the problem when you're a fantasy analyst, is you're looking ahead, you're looking backwards, you're mostly looking ahead. So while you're in the middle of week 5 games, you're doing projections and write-ups and preparation for week 6. So you literally, it's kind of like you don't know what time it is, or you don't know what day of the week it is if you work from home or something. So I lose track of what day it is too. But I'm like constantly looking at the week ahead, and then I forget when the transition happens, and I keep saying week 5, week 5. Even typed it in my YouTube video. I had to repost it because I had week 5 in there in the title. I'm like, in the graphic. I'm like, son of a Posner with the super chat, $4.99. Thank you, sir. You're kind. Trading Rodgers and Herndon for Bell to replace Brady as my running back 2, moved into my flex. Stafford would become your starting QB. Yeah, I mean, I like both players. I think Rodgers is getting very, very undervalued, and people are crapping all over him when he's had slow starts before. He's had strings of games where he does nothing, and I don't feel like Rodgers has lost it. I think he just doesn't have new coaching, new system essentially, and then you have his best player hurt. Like, take away, Mike Thomas from the Saints offense, and what do? Take away Hopkins. I know you want to say, Hopkins is a bust, or some people might want to, which is crazy talk. But you take away a player like that, it changes the offense dramatically. So I'm not giving up on Rodgers, but I'm also not, expecting him to outscore Mahomes or Watson on any kind of regular basis. But let's see what other news there is. Back to the news. Gallman won't play against the Patriots on Thursday, so that means that because Barkley's out, Gallman's out, John Hillman is going to get the start now. It's a bad matchup, but he could get volume. So if you need a running back play this week, go pick him up. John Hillman. Big timer. Look at the Bell trades. Yeah, a lot of Bell trades. I need a running back. I was offered Hyde for a wide receiver. You have Edelman, Godwin, no Godwin. No Odell, no Jeffrey, maybe Edelman. But even that's, if you need a running back, that's okay. Tell me who's on waivers, though, first, before you can make a trade. But Edelman's the only player I'd trade, even consider trading for Hyde. I like Hyde. He's okay. What are your thoughts on AJ Green moving forward? I think AJ Green is let's look up at the latest news just to make sure we have it. Things break while I'm preparing for the show. Even a couple hours into it, sometimes I'm having to get a lot of stuff going. Confirmed, AJ Green ankle, won't practice this week. Doesn't appear to be very motivated or seeing to return without a new contract. Based on that news, expecting him to come back within anything remotely close to the next week or two, I think is high expectations. So I don't know what's going to go on with AJ. Niners backfield getting crowded. Yep. Hillman or Duke. I go Hillman. Seclan. Should I trade Juju Monty for DeAndre Hopkins? Yes, I probably would, but that's me. People were crapping all over Juju last week, so I don't want to hear anybody saying, I wouldn't give Juju and Monty. Everyone was ready to bench Juju last week. So hit the like button. Show Smitty some love, says Big Timer with his big brain. Okay, so any more news worth talking about? Not really. Nick Chubb, 99 yards on Monday night. This is all news from the game. What a crazy game, eh? Okay, I'm plugging. Now we're on to the change out the graphics here. And we're going to go on to the week 6 buy lows. And then we'll go into more Q&A. I do Q&A the whole time. Let's be real. And I do need to click one thing, 1 second for me. Then I'm going to load the rankings and get on with the buy lows. Okay. Let me load Sleeper U. For those that don't have sleeperu.com, let me plug in for that. What am I doing? I can show it on screen here. Okay, so this is sleeperu.com. If you don't know about it, hey, there's me. I know that guy. You get one-on-one advice from me if you purchase the $29 for the whole year package, and it gives you the whole fantasy season for 2019. Let's go to rankings, and as you'll see on these drag and drop rankings, you can move them around. Pat Mahomes. So I say buy low on Aaron Rodgers, but that's me. Baker needs to move so far down now. I don't know where you move Baker at this point, to be honest. Ryan, move him up. So I don't know who I'd buy low at this point at QB other than Aaron Rodgers. There's not a lot of options that I think are worthy of buying low. So I'm going to skip over the QBs and go to the running backs. I think Zeke Elliott, you need to buy low. I think Lev Bell has some buy low appeal, and you guys are clearly making some great moves for Lev Bell right now. Let me see if I can zoom in here. There we go. Make these graphics smaller so you can see me. They're not right in my mug. Okay. So, Kamara is another good buy low. I'll get to some Q&A in a second, guys. Happy birthday, Nick. How many people we got in the room? 111 right now. Hopefully we get that into the twos. But hit the thumbs up on the way in. Please wipe your feet at the front door. Aaron Jones, you're not going to be able to buy low anymore. He was a buy low. You could still buy Barkley low, maybe, depending on the situation. I'll make him gray, because people might be fearing that he may not come back as quick as they thought, or since they won't have him this week, maybe they make a trade. See, people that own Barkley, you got to think about it this way, guys. If you own Barkley, you most likely have 1 or 2 wins at the most, because he's your number 1 overall player and you lost him. It had to have hurt quite a bit. So if you're thinking, I got him back, I'm not trading him. Yeah, I'm glad I waited it out. And then you get hit with, maybe he won't play week 6. You might be able to maneuver something that you shouldn't be maneuvering via trade with that owner. And like I said in my buy low video, I'm not sure if everybody watched it, but you got Bill over in accounting, or is it Bob? Was it Bob or Bill? I think Bob was in accounting. Bob over in accounting, typing away, ignoring the idea of sending trade offers out to all of his people. He just sits there. Bob isn't active. Bob's not doing shit. And he's just typing up his TPS reports. And then it was Bill, I think, over in Repo, is just willing to give away Saquon at this point because he's got 1 or 0 wins. Charles says, yep, 1 and 4. And while Bob is typing away, not even giving it a shot, thinking, he won't trade him, someone else is going to step in and take advantage of Bill in repo, because Bill over in your repo department in your company league doesn't know what he's doing. So take a stab. Don't be the person sitting on their hands. You could go buy Melvin Gordon low. You might see somebody be like, same thing, similar kind of effect. Like, hey, I've got no wins. I've been waiting on Melvin Gordon. I'm not waiting another week, and I don't think he's going to get the touches. Damian, I don't know you can buy low on him. You might be able to. Some people might be excited about his return, and he may be nothing. What we've learned with the Kansas City backfield is that anything can happen in a bad way or a good way, but with that Kansas City backfield, probably not in the way that you predicted. So now that everybody's a little cautious about Damian Williams might be a monster because we're all worried about it, because that makes sense to go against what we're expecting. David Montgomery could be a good buy low, just saying. But, he's somebody I don't count on at this point, but you could get him dirt cheap or thrown into a deal. Get him thrown into a deal and just hope something works out. It's not talent. You can rip me apart all you want in the comments, during the live, most likely after, when the haters will come around. And you can rip me apart in the comments if you want about still believing in David Montgomery's talent. I don't care. I know what I saw. I know my eyes aren't lying to me. The guy is a tackle breaking machine. The records don't lie. He is a phenomenal, elite running back talent-wise. I don't care what anybody says. I don't feel peer pressure to go with the flow and say, oh, he may not be that good. He's good. He's fantastic, as Trump would say. Fantastic. He's huge. And I don't care. But I am smart enough, I believe, maybe I'm not, because I believed in it in this situation, to know when to back out, retreat a little bit, and say, you never used your waiver? Good. Hold on to it, unless, I guess, you got to use your waiver early on, or I feel like it goes to waste. It's kind of like the person that holds on to their money in the auction draft, and you're like, why is, that person not spending their money? And at the end of the draft, they could have used $20 to buy a better running back, and they just sat on their dumb cash and never used it. Don't be that person either. And you need to use this advice for the next year, because we're already too late into it. But Hollywood Brown, Andrews, Waller, guys like that, when someone dropped Montgomery or something, not that he's delivered yet, but those are the moves that win your league. And if you save your waiver claim till week 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, nothing much is probably going to happen. So odds are you're going to have wasted an opportunity to get. So I usually spend, and people think I'm a little bit crazy, and that happens. I get that kind of a lot, but that doesn't bother me. I spend, like, if you have $100 in auction dollars, if I go into a league, I change the dynamic of auction bidding within my first year. Within the second year, people are having to do what I'm doing because I'm forcing the culture change, which is people are like, oh, I'll put $20 on that guy out of 100. Or if you get $200 auction dollars, I'll put 25 on that guy. But if I see a Hollywood Brown pop up in week 1 or 2, $150. And so most of my leagues, they tend to be high auction dollar bidding going on. But honestly, it's the way it should go. You should be looking at your trending. And that's probably the most common question I get in weeks 1, 2, and 3 is, how much should I bid on so-and-so, Smitty? And the answer I give people every single time, and expect it if you ask me this, you got to look at your league history. How do people bid? Because if you're in my league, it's 100% of your auction dollars go toward the player you want in week 1 or week 2. Because those are the players that win you a league if they land. Those are the difference makers. That's the Philip Lindsay from last year. You put all $100 out of 100 on him and grabbed him, you probably won your league based on how he performed. That's how I bid. I don't mess around with my auction dollars in the beginning of the year, and I don't think you guys should either. Another buy low, Singletary. Very, very disappointed in that he hasn't gotten going again. Like, God, we just got him. It was like opening up a gift on Christmas and having to, on Christmas Eve, and having to send it back to the store before Christmas morning. Like, what a freaking disappointment. not him, but injury situation, like Devin Singletary, like David Montgomery. I don't care what anybody says to me. I don't care if people make fun of me, rip me apart, thumb down me like the guy did in here, or gal, or whoever just now. I don't care. I know what I know, and there's things that I can't predict, and those things I can be off on. And I've been off on that Chicago coaching staff and how much they believed in using David Montgomery right away. That's on me. That's my oopsie, and I take ownership of it. But I do know that Devin Singletary and David Montgomery have the talent to be elite in this league. It's just a matter of will they use it. Super chat from Mark. If I missed another super chat, guys, please let me know. I occasionally don't see them come. Odell Beckham Jr. for Philip Lindsay. Mark, what do you guys think for Mark? Would you guys go after Lindsay or Odell if you were, if you could pick? I personally would rather bank on Odell bouncing back than going with Lindsay, but that's me. But I'd love to hear what you guys think. Singletary's injured. I know that, Nicholas. That's what I'm talking about. Benny Snell, pick him up. I'm just going to highlight him. These are buy lows. Past that, man, not a lot going on the buy low. Kerryon Johnson, you can't buy him. He popped off. You're not going to be able to buy low anymore. I sell on Mixon. You're not going to be able to buy low on Josh Jacobs anymore. Mac, you can't buy low on. Connor, you're not going to be able to buy low on him. His value just went up because Jalen Samuels is out. Eckler is either a top 10 running back to somebody or a guy that's going to fall out of the top 15. I don't think you could value Eckler the same in any league. So we got one Lindsay vote here. Odell, tough schedule, bad QB. Odell, kind of a torn, but leaning maybe Odell on the question mark. I'd rather take the gamble on Odell bouncing back than that Philip Lindsay's going to win you your league. Yeah, Lewis, I agree with you. After 5 weeks, we're only 5 weeks in. It's tough to give up on some people that have the talent that like Odell has. And at wide receiver, I passed the top there. Okay. At wide receiver, good God, go buy DeAndre Hopkins. What are you guys still doing here? Why aren't you making offers right now for DeAndre Hopkins? Hit the thumbs up. We got 159 in the room and only 61 thumbs up. Please wipe your feet at the front door when you enter the show's house. It helps the channel, guys. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the thumbs up. It does help. It helps YouTube say, hey, we need to deliver this to more people right now. People are liking this content live, and it's going to help us grow, which is going to allow me to give you more shows. And my goal is to give you a 4-hour show daily. So if you don't want a 4-hour show daily, don't hit thumbs up. Just telling you. Like, completely avoid the thumb up button if you're allergic to a 4-hour daily show. Like, don't help this channel grow if that's not what you're after. And then get the hell out. Mike Thomas, I don't think you're going to buy low anymore on him. So I'll put the ones that I would love for you to still get, but you probably can't. I'm going to do Q&A right after this buy low session, guys. So don't, you're going to have to repeat some of these questions. Thank you for the thumbs up. Adams, go buy low. See what you can get him for. I'm not saying to go get him at anywhere near his value you drafted him for, or even a level below that. You can get him lower than that. Mike Evans, people are back on, maybe Mike Evans isn't going to be as good. It's amazing how fickle and how week to week people are in fantasy communities. It's absolutely asinine. Asinine, I tell you. That you could go from Mike Evans is the best, Mike Evans is the worst, Mike Evans is the best, Mike Evans is the worst. Go try and get him from his owner that's panicking. You're not going to be able to get Amari Cooper anymore. You could probably get Keenan Allen, but I don't. Depends on what you'd have to pay. Tyreek Hill, people are probably in the same situation. If you drafted Tyreek Hill, you're probably in the same situation as a Zeke Elliott owner. You're probably 1 win or 2 wins. So this Tyreek Hill, Tyreek Hill owner you might think, he's not going to trade him now or close to a return. don't be so quick to assume that owner won't send him packing because they need a win now. I think Evans will be too inconsistent. That's just me. So Dylan, I'm not trying to pick on you. This is your opinion, and I respect it like crazy. But this is why I believe that Mike Evans, who's had a phenomenal year statistically so far, is going to be still a buy low candidate because of comments like this. Dylan, and I'm not saying you're wrong. Dylan could be right, but it doesn't change the fact that you can buy low. So if you do believe, you can get them low. So thank you, Dylan, for putting an exclamation point on my point. Juju, I think you can still get him low, but I think people are excited about his game. Seth with a super chat. I'm sorry, but if you super chat, you interrupt the show and you get your comment answered immediately. That's the way super chatting works. So, Seth, thank you. And Seth, you have the floor. And Seth says, Hollywood, Golden, Tate, Kirk, full PPR. I think if Hollywood's a go, you go Hollywood. And I expect Lamar and Hollywood to connect and do well in this game. I believe Hollywood will be okay, but you do have to stay on the news, make sure. And even Victor's like, Hollywood. Of course, Hollywood. He's too explosive. And rookies are hit and miss. Remember, guys, this is one thing I tell people when rookies start going crazy in the beginning of the year, especially rookie wide receivers. Well, running backs too, but especially wide receivers. They go crazy early on, and everybody thinks this is the next big running back, and they might be. And then receivers always tail off a little bit or have some inconsistent patches in the middle. And then once they get their grip again, it's like they lose their bearings halfway through the season. Then they start going off again, typically. So I think that you might see Hollywood Brown, even if he fumbles around with some stats this week, no pun intended on actual fumble, but I just mean even if his stats are kind of all over the place, this is going to be the situation where Hollywood Brown, whether it's this week or next week, is going to bounce back in a major way. And you're going to be like, damn, he's on my bench and he has 2 TDs and 100 yards. He will eventually pop off again, and don't be the guy that has him on the bench. Thielen, everybody's still doubting Thielen. I don't know why. Galladay, you probably can't buy low, so I'm going to make him gray, but if you could, obviously go get this guy. I think Galladay's just force. Lockett, I don't think you could buy Lockett low anymore. You could go get Odell low, but depending on for what. Chark, you won't be able to buy low. You kind of had a moment there for a week or so ago, even last week, where people were like, maybe he will. You know, I was getting a lot of, hey, Smitty, should I start Chark or this guy? And this guy was not that good. So people were doubting him a little bit. Fuller is available. Should I pick him up? Rick, what do you think? Rick?
Take a lap. Take a lap.
The guy just blew up this last week. Rick, I'm kidding. Appreciate your comment. Rick, he blew up, and he was one of my go-get and start players. So you're going to hear a big yes from me. So Fuller, boom. Probably won't be able to buy him low anymore, let alone pick him up like you, Rick. Get him. Grab him now. Pat yourself on the back as you take that lap. It's a victory lap, Rick, is what it is. Fuller went nuts. Dude sent me Hopkins for Aaron Jones and Robert Woods. I like Hopkins for... that's arguable, TED Talk, because, Aaron Jones is arguably a top 7 to 10 running back, so Woods is playing great. Both sides could do well on that. So I don't know you crush it or it hurt. McCoy or Hyde this week? Probably Hyde right now, but we'll kind of have to play the wait and see approach with wait and see game with McCoy's workload. Chark or Sutton? I go. That's actually I was going to say Chark and then close the door on that conversation. But Chark or Sutton? What do you guys think? I think Chark, but damn, you got a tough dilemma. I didn't mean to highlight John Brown there. Terry could get going again. Scary Terry. Hollywood Brown could get going again. Ridley, I think, will get going on a consistent basis. Gallup's back. You won't be able to buy him low anymore. And that's that. As far as tight ends, Kittle had a good game, but you still may be able to get him low. Kelsey, you might be able to get. I'm going to put him gray. You might be able to get him cheaper than you should be getting him. Kittle, you still, I think, can. Waller and Andrews, people have cooled off a little bit. And then Ingram, because he's been banged up, you might be able to get these guys relatively cheap. And that's going to close out the buy lows and sell. Well, we touched on sell highs, so mostly buy lows. But I just wanted to briefly go on that topic because some of you have asked about it. Even though I produced a video on it earlier this week, things change. Now it's Q&A time. Let me change all this again. Now I focus on answering your questions. And as always, super chats go right to the top of the list. So if you have a super chat, definitely fire away. Let me just highlight this so I can make sure the graphics on screen follow the topic. And the first super chatter is from Jordan. Thank you, Jordan. You are the man. From so sell A. Robinson now, Allen Robinson now. Maybe throw Monty in a package. Yeah, try and get Zeke. Try and get Kamara. Try and get Hopkins. Try and get all these big name players I'm telling you to go get now. Try and use Allen Robinson for a QB upgrade into Mahomes or Watson if your QBs are lacking. That's definitely the way to go. Thank you for the super chat, Jordan. And if you have any other questions, post it. What's up, Smitty? Should I trade Hawkinson, Lockett for Ingram? Hawkinson and Lockett? No. I probably keep Hawkinson and Lockett. Ingram's banged up. You also have Herndon, so no. The answer is no, Lewis. Stick with what you got. You're doing better off, I think, going down the road you're going. Mac and Godwin. You don't mean Goodwin, you mean Godwin, right? Mac and Godwin for Edelman Barkley. What do you guys think on that? Post it below. Mac, Godwin, or Edelman Barkley. I lean Barkley if you can weather through another game without him. If you can't, you got to keep Mac or go with Mac, and I'm not sure which one you're getting. But if you need the win, you can't wait on Barkley. If you've got 3 wins or 4 wins, then totally I would probably bank on Barkley myself. But that's me. I'm a little bit crazy with the bigger name players and rolling with Smitty. Should I have used 45 of 56 on my fab on Gallup? So you missed this topic already, Josh, obviously. I can't tell you what to spend on your free agency. Only you can, because you know the history of your league. In my league, I spend every dollar I have in week 1 on the one guy that I want to pick up. Or if I don't find that guy in week 1, I wait. And in week 2 or 3, I bid 100 out of 100 on the player I want to ensure that I get the player that can make a difference and have me win a league. Because in weeks 1 through 4, a player like that shows up. In weeks 6, 7, 8, 9, it's very rare that a Phillip Lindsay from last year gets into a lineup and is a beast, a top 10 running back the rest of the year. It's rare that happens after like week 6, 7. Could happen this week. Could be like Benny Snell. Benny Snell could be exactly that player. Not saying he is. I'm saying he could become that. Let's say Connor went down in practice tomorrow, and then Benny Snell's the new starting running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers with no competition because Jalen Samuels is out. That's a win-a-league type approach that if you kept your auction dollars, you'd be, better off than anybody. Thank you for the super chat. You the man. Jason with a $2 super chat. Godwin, Evans, DJ, Moore, Adams, pick 2. If Adams is a go, you obviously start Adams, but I don't know if he will be, so we'll assume he won't be. What's the news on Adams? Let me just check and see if there's anything tonight. I don't want to give you... send a trade. Oh, we got an offer in the Throne League from State of Mind. Send a trade for your boy Singletary. Oh, send a trade. Okay. We got to do a trade. You guys want to do a trade with me live? Cooking up an offer live on my YouTube show right now. That's State of Mind. So let's plug in. Thank you for the super chat. I didn't fully answer this, did I? Godwin, sorry, Jason. Godwin, Evans, DJ Moore. So you got to go with Godwin and Evans no matter what at this point. So I take that back. Even if Adams is a go and you can only pick 2, you have to go Godwin and Evans. You kind of have to because there's no way that Adams is going to be fully healthy. He'll be playing kind of banged up. So let me move this out of the way. Let's come up with a trade here. So State of Mind needs a QB. So let's go to standings. Let's find State of Mind's team. And he wants to trade us a Devin Singletary. So if we traded him for Devin Singletary, I forget who my QBs are in this league. He's probably going to want Brady. I think that's all I got. Let me see. Devin Singletary, unless free agency went through. So all we have is Tom Brady. Do we trade Tom Brady for Devin Singletary in the Throne League for the potential? Thank you, Cameron, for the potential of having this team. It did well really early on. In the last 2 weeks, it struggled a little bit. But do we trade Tom Brady, our backup QB, and have no backup QB? We could pick somebody up for Devin Singletary, or should we look at some other options? He has Zeke. He has Fuller. We need a wide receiver. He has 2 tight ends in Ertz and Kelsey. I wonder if we could do a trade. You guys think we could trade Kelsey and Singletary for Brady and would you guys give up Woods? Would you guys give up Woods and something like this, Woods and Brady for Kelsey and Singletary, something like that? Jalen's maybe droppable at this point. It just kind of depends. Cameron says no on getting rid of Brady. What if we did Kelsey, Singletary for, I don't know if he would do it, for Brady and Woods. I don't think he'd do that. Let's send it. So Singletary, Kelsey for Brady and Woods. Let's do this. I'm going to screenshot that. And we're going to send that to him. Nailed it! That would give us, we'd lose Woods. Too many players. So we'd have to we'll drop single L Darrell Williams. Could drop Hilliard, but I'd rather drop Williams at this point. So we'll drop Williams. Confirm. Boom. Let me text him right now. I don't want you guys to see that. Sent a big offer. All right. We'll see what he says. 242 in the room and only 80 thumbs up. What the hell? All right. Q&A time. Let's go. Did I miss a super chat? If I did, I apologize. Jason, I don't know if I gave you the proper attention, so I'm pulling yours back up to talk about it. Godwin and Evans are a lock. I initially saw Adams. I started talking about Adams. You have to start Godwin and Evans. Adams couldn't possibly be 100% in time. If he's a go, you have yourself a dilemma there. I'm going to take this sticker off. I thought that would look cool on camera, but it doesn't. Deal with that later. Super chat from Mark. Mark, I can't even click on the question because everyone's posting too quick. Everett or Herndon off waivers if Ingram don't play? That's a tough one. What do you guys think about this? Real Spit says Godwin over Evans. It's debatable, man, but I think Evans. I think people will jump back and forth depending on who's going crazy, and they may rotate. I probably go Everett because we don't know what we have in Herndon yet. We don't know how he's going to gel. Evans did have 0 points. That's why he's a great buy low. In fact, we should try in the Throne League to trade for Evans. Maybe we should send out an offer. Let's look at that. Let's see who has Evans in the Throne League. We'll cook up another offer. For those of you joining that don't know, the Throne League is a league that you guys drafted for me, and then I manage it. You know, I could definitely come to you guys when I have tough decisions like this and trades. There haven't been a lot of trade talk at all, but it's a league you guys drafted for me. Let's plug in again. And let's trade for... So the team that has him, I doubt they give him up, but let's try. So for Mike Evans, we give up... What's his QB situation? Matt Ryan. It's probably not going to be dying for a QB. This is sad, but honest. Started Jalen Samuels last week at the flex spot. What a disappointment he was. Choose 2 Smitty from Justin. Cook, Kamara, Aaron Jones. You can't sit Kamara. You can't sit Cook. You just can't. You got to make a trade. You need to make a trade before Aaron Jones's value drops or anything like that. Everett or Vance McDonald? I go Everett. Smitty, please answer Brian's question. Oh, here's a super chat. So I go Everett over Herndon Mark to answer your question. This Brian? Thank you for all the super chats, guys. Much appreciated. Okay, so first one, Brian Thomas. Brian Thomas says, Thielen, Kittle, Ridley, DeMarcus Robinson, Sanu, pick 3. Thielen and Kittle and Ridley is who I go with. DeMarcus Robinson could blow up at any moment, but I go with that. Thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Jessica says, who should I drop, MVS, Diggs, or John Brown, or Golden Tate? That's a tough one. MVS probably, but he could go nuts at any moment. Just know that. That's a really, really tough one. I appreciate the super chat, but I probably would drop him at this point. I mean, he had every opportunity to go crazy last week, and he didn't. And they've kind of rotated between him and Allison. So I'd say, given that he didn't go crazy with the big stage that he had last week, I don't know that. If you guys have a different opinion, drop it. But it's kind of a close call. You could regret it and want to pick him back up. I mean, I could see that happening. But out of all those players, that's the one I'd most likely drop. Sherman, should I drop D-Jack, Scary Terry McLaurin, or Sammy Watkins? Should I drop D-Jack, Scary Terry, or Watkins? I probably would drop D Jackson because he's hurt, but I mean, could you regret that? Sure. These are really tough ones. What do you guys think? Drop D Jax or Sammy Watkins? Help with that question. Drop it in the comments. Let's give some group think over here. And Mary, if you had another question, please post it. I don't see a question attached to your super chat here. If you're just giving that, I appreciate it. Jake, super chat. Start Ridley or Sutton this week. 0.5 point PPR. I would say Sutton's the safer call, but Ridley's higher risk, but a little bit higher reward, in my opinion. Thank you for the super chat. That could go either way. Big timer. Whoops, I dragged the wrong one on there. Everett, Graham, Hawkinson, Walker, Herndon. For this week, I don't know if is Hawk healthy? I think Hawk is going to play. Or he's is Hawk on a, let's see. Who's on a bye this week? I'm blanking out. Bye weeks are that's what I'm saying, that I'm like a week ahead. Yeah, so he's on a bye this week, that's why. So you gotta go. I like Hawk long term, I really do, but obviously this week. So if you're asking me long term, probably say Hawk. If you're asking me this week, I probably go Everett. I just think Hawk is too talented. He had a big week 1. Everybody is excited. I think he does develop. Connor, pick 3. Connor, Cook, Carson, Coleman. I go, obviously, Dalvin Cook. Obviously, Carson. Obviously, Connor. I mean, you can't sit any of those 3 for Coleman. I know it's tempting, but you can't. You just can't do it. So you have 3 very good options there that you can lock in and feel good about. Even if you get it wrong, those are the right calls 8 times out of 10. And sometimes you have those days where it's going to not work out great. That's just the nature of fantasy football. Did you guys respond to this one? I wanted to give better advice to Sherman on this one. Who do you cut, D. Jackson, Sammy, Watkins, or McLaurin? If you had to make a cut, I assume it's redraft. Thanks again for the super chat. Brian, thanks again for the super chat. I'm just making sure I got all these. Big timer, if you're saying that I need to answer somebody else's that I missed, let me know. And then if anybody answered this question or could give another question for Ray, who should be dropped, MVS, Diggs, Brown, or Golden Tate. I said MVS, but I caution you that I'm on the fence on that. Jake with a super. Thank you, Jake. And Jason, thank you again for the super chat. I appreciate it. Jake says, Delaney Walker or Jimmy Graham at tight end this week? Let me just look up Walker's health, just to be safe. Hey, what did Graham have last week? I love when people think that experts have everything in their head, like how Graham did. Like, I don't remember his exact stat line, so I'm going to look it up because I'm not going to give advice when I don't feel confident that I have all the information. How many exact catches he had, how's he been looking the last 2 weeks. When I get a Ask Smitty question on sleeperu.com, I look at a lot of the details, you know. I don't just go through this. I have to fire away and answer questions, and sometimes I don't have all the information, and it makes me hesitant to lock everything in. That's why you'll hear me say when it really feels 50-50, I'm not gonna just force it and say this guy, that guy. I probably go with Walker this week. Smitty didn't get my question answered. Well, Justin, do you see how many questions are going through here? I'm trying my best, buddy, and I got it up right now. And I got a super chat here. Super chats do take priority because, naturally. Smitty, I didn't get your question answered. Choose 2 running back standard. Cook, Kamara, Aaron Jones. I did answer that, Justin. How'd you miss that? I said Cook and Kamara. Or maybe there's a similar question, Justin. Cook, Kamara, and you just can't sit either one of those guys. I think I answered this question. It might have been somebody else that had the exact same player. But you just can't sit those guys. You can't. You can't sit them. You have to trade Aaron Jones, I think is what I told you. You need to make a trade before Aaron Jones loses value. I'm not saying trade Jones because I don't believe in him, but you can't use him on a weekly basis. So State of Mind got back and said you can't do that trade. Other ideas? Ertz. Brady is a big scorer. He has a bye and is banged up. And he's limping. I already own Cooks, man. Can't double down on the Rams wide receivers. LOL. So what can we do? This is how you do trade negotiations. You guys are watching live right now. So what other ideas do you have? Singletary is hurt. And I need a tight end or a wide receiver. The upside second half run with Singletary is worth a week fill-in with Brady. He's trying to swindle me. He's trying to swindle me as we speak. Oh, super chat from Stall. Sorry. PPR flex, Tate, Fuller, Duke Johnson, or Michelle. I think you got to roll with the momentum in Fuller, but you wouldn't be crazy to go Michelle, but I'd go Fuller. It's a little bit tough to imagine sitting him after the week he had. So thank you for the super chat. If anybody disagrees, drop it in the chat below. Let me see what else you got. Okay, standing by. Let's cook up. Let's see, I'm going to insert excitement into this to get him going. I hit voice chat and it started to type what I was just saying. Let's get the first big trade done in the Throne League. So I sent him that. DJ Chark or Josh Gordon? Chark by quite a bit at this point. Would you trade Zeke for Keenan Allen and Ingram? I would not. I would hold on to Zeke myself because the person you're filling into your lineup spot has to be factored into this, and I think the person that you'd start with Zeke is better than those two combined, you know. Watkins, Brady for Ertz, TED Talk says. TED Talk knows the roster. Ertz for Watkins and Brady. For our trade, bro. How's Ertz been playing, by the way? I'm blanking out on last week's numbers. So Ertz has been having a pretty decent year. Last week he hauled in 5 for 57 and a touch. So you guys like that? You okay doing that trade? What Ted's talking about? In the Throne League, it's our team. You guys drafted it for me. We did for those that missed it on Instagram, and I did some on YouTube here. I did a poll every time we were on the clock. You guys voted on the 3-4 players, or actually just in a chat. You said Woods, you know, blah blah blah, Woods, and so many Woods votes. I'm like, Woods is going to be voted on the top 4. So we'll get rid of Brady, who we don't start, but we're going to have to get a backup QB. Not many people have been asking about QBs in this league, so it's probably a good move to go get. So let's go back to his team standings. This is the team we're trying to trade with in the Throne League here. So he has Allen at QB right now. Michelle, Elliott, Robbie Anderson, Cooks, Fuller. I like Fuller. I wouldn't mind getting Fuller somehow. He's got Newton, Singletary. He wants to give a Singletary for Brady. He's got Brissett on a bye. He can't afford to lose because he has. He's 2-3. We're also 2-3 though. We can't afford to lose either. But we do have Mahomes. I hate losing Brady. Yes, trade Watkins and Brady for Ertz. I think it's a good trade. Zeke and Ertz for Cooks and Brady. I think we take that. Zeke and Ertz for Cooks and Brady. I love Cooks, or Dalvin Cook. You think we take that? We take Zeke and Ertz for Dalvin Cook and Brady. I think we do that. That's a big trade. What do you guys think? Yes or no? Hit the or say yes or no in that, and I'll send it to him. He sent it to me, Cameron. I think it's a fair trade, though. Zeke and Ertz for Cook and Brady. So let's pull it up and see if he sends it. I like how we have, it's controversial. I say, yes, take it, no, yes, ship it, nah, yes, yes. So our roster right here, we have Mahomes, Kamara, Dalvin Cook, Woods. We can get Ertz into our lineup. We can get Zeke into our lineup. I love Dalvin Cook, but I'm very okay with getting Zeke. We can't get Madison. We're getting rid of Cook. So we'd be sending Cook and Brady, who's on our bench, packing for Ertz, who goes in our lineup, and Zeke, who I think is just as good as Cook. Not a super flex, no. Trade proposal. That's the old one. Trade proposal. So we're going to reject that one. It is tough to lose Dalvin, but Ertz, man. What up, Fernando? Yeah, I do got to drop. Let me edit my lineup just so it looks better. We're going to move. That's not Damian Williams. It's Darryl, unfortunately. I mean, he's questionable, but I just got to change that up. Our tight end right now is Witten, but it will be hopefully Ertz. What's the holdup? Is he going to back out on it? If he is, he's backing out on a live. I hate when people offer stuff and then they back out. Now he's typing. Give me some time to think on it. Hang on. Looking at my roster, my team would have a huge hole. Bro, it's a perfect trade. And you get Cook, who's going nuts. And you're live. You can't back out. Don't you hate that when people say, what about this and this? And then you say what it is, and they're like, well, wait a minute. It's like, come on. You came up with the offer to me. Are you kidding me? Now you're not gonna do it? Oh man, that's the worst. That's the worst, the back out trick. That's probably, I should have used my fantasy football trade 101 tactic there and go, I don't know. Actually, the offer I sent him, it was to not alarm him. I said, send it and I'll hit accept. No, it's not Banshee Live in the background. That's another movie that Miss Smitty's watching as she deals with my BS on the regular. She's got to hear me screaming and yelling. I'm like, what are you doing? Take a lap. You know who needs to take a lap is State of Mind.
Take a lap. Take a lap.
For doing the pulling the back out on a live. We are all waiting. Some said yes, and some said no, don't trade Cook. What's up, Augie? Buy low and Odell? Yeah, probably. Did I miss any super chats while I was worrying about myself and being selfish on this show and trying to pull off a trade? Actually, I'm doing it for us. This is our team. I'd love to be able to get Ertz Oh my God, it's an interesting trade for sure. ... You came up with it. It's never a good sign when it's a ... Maybe we should make it an entire thing with our followers. Well, mine are waiting live. So I say let's rock it. You need out of your 2 tight end strategy. He drafted 2 tight ends. And both of the players, let me just do this. Players that I'm giving you have top 3 to 5 fantasy value at their position. Your lineup increases on this, comma, Zeke isn't even scoring near what Cook is scoring. He said screw it, so he's going to do it. Trade negotiation 101. You like that? You guys are watching the master at work here. So he said screw it, which means he's probably sending it right now. Attaboy. My live audience, what are we at? 271. 271 watching is proud of you. Watching the master in action. With your help, you guys drafted this team. And it's time to go in. Let's plug in and see if he sent this offer. And let's accept it live. The first big trade in the Throne League. And I don't see it. Cricket sounds. Where's my cricket? Do I have a cricket noise here? This is for somebody that says something really dumb.
Make a dumb comment, take a laugh.
I would rather have Cook by far, says Curbing. I think we're 2-3. We can't lose. Getting Zeke and Ertz for Dalvin Cook and Brady, I think it's a really good deal for us. I think it's a really good deal for our lineup. And I know Zeke has to deliver. I think he will. But I know that some people are torn in here. Some people don't want to trade Calvin away. Or Calvin. Good God, Dalvin. You need to back out, Smitty. Don't do it. Why? We're 2-3, bro. We need to do something. That's funny. We got a decent divide on this one, which means it's a fair trade. I want Samuels as an insurance piece. Does he have Connor? Josh Gordon or Curtis Samuel, rest of season. I go Josh Gordon. I think Cook will get hurt within the next 3 to 4 weeks. Body won't handle the work, says Jimmy. Smitty, do it. Witten sucks. That's the trade. I'll show you the trade once he sends it. Sent, he said. Trade proposal. Tom Brady, Cook, Jalen Samuels for Zach Ertz and Elliott. We hitting it? We punching it? Did he have Pollard? Let's make sure. This is also Fantasy Trade 101. State of mind. Does he have Pollard? He does not have Pollard. Do we have Pollard? Did we pick Pollard up? Maybe we have Pollard. I have so many leagues. We've got Pollard!
Take a lap.
Or no, I need this one.
Make a dumb comment. Take a lap.
I made a dumb comment. We've got Pollard. We're looking for Pollard everywhere. He's on our roster. Are we punching it? Just do Brady for Ertz. We can't. We doing it? This is what he's doing. He's not good. He's gonna want to. I know him. He's gonna want to take it to his people if we don't punch it. Are we punching it? Come on. This is our trade together. Elliott, we've got Pollard. We don't have Madison. We don't have him. We doing it? I say we do it. Punch it. Do it, Jimmy says. I need some more confirmations. This is our team. Yes. Great trade. Do it. I'm doing it. Nailed the hit. Nailed it. Nail the hit. Is what we did. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of us. You guys watched a full-on trade negotiation where he said no. I'm going to take it to my people. I said no. I did a nice amount of pressure, very friendly. You know, we've got 260, 70 people live waiting for this, and he's like, screw it. So it was awesome. We did good. He got a good deal. I mean, if we look at his team, here's the pending move. Nailed it. Madison's not available. The counselor's got him, and the counselor thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread. Let me send a huge trade. We just woke the Throne League up. Hope it works out for both of us. Honestly, I am being serious, I think the trade helps your team out a ton, and it helps us out a ton. ... Amazing trade. Everyone in my live is ecstatic that we pulled off a huge deal. You demand. You to man. Nice. Nice, Siri. You demand. I want your man. No, Siri. That's not what you send to a man after a trade. I want the man. Drop Witten. I need to wait for the trade to go through. Goodness gracious, guys. That's an awesome trade. So now we have Pat Mahomes. We need to grab a QB. Let's look at what QBs are available on waivers because we're going to need a QB. So we have Pat Mahomes. It hasn't gone through yet. It goes through the one-day process. Jordan with the super chat. Jordan, you come first. Ertz is a target machine. Also, Zeke will feast. I agree with you, Jordan. Especially going to super chat message. Am I missing anything? This was a great night to go live. You guys watch a trade negotiation, and it's your team. So you got to do a trade. That was fantastic. That boy got finessed. That's how you trade. Trade 101, guys. I'm not saying I screwed him by any means. I'm just saying that's how you get a deal done. You got to apply the right kind of pressure for the right person. And, you know, he came to me. He got a trade done, too. Give him credit for coming to us and getting a deal done. He knew I was excited about Devin Singletary. That got me peaked. He knew we needed a tight end or wide receiver. He knew he could get a QB from me. So kudos to him, too. State of Mind knows what he's doing. But we have Mahomes, we have Kamara, we have Zeke now. We have Tony Pollard. Thank you very much. We still got Woods. Now we've got Ertz in the lineup. I really like this team now with Zach Ertz in there. I'm not a huge fan of drafting Ertz at a high value, but I love trading for him at a low value. What QBs are available? Awesome point. Let's check it out. Minshew's not bad. So we do have blind bids tonight, so we probably should pick Minshew up. I don't want anybody to see what I'm bidding. Although if you've been watching, you know what I'm going to do. Okay, we need a QB, so I'm picking him up. And I'm going to drop. And then I need to go to my pending moves. I'm dropping. Let's see, I need to delete that bid. I need to start my bids over because I might have had Jalen Samuels in there. I don't want to cut him. I can't cut him now. So yeah, we're gonna go full go on Minshew. I think for a pickup this week. Fournette and Evans too much to give for Kamara. Fournette and Evans, no, but that is quite a bit. Minshew, do it. We're getting Minshew. So if you look at it this way, concepts, you're in here, right? So concepts, if I pick up Minshew, and if you were to pretend that Minshew is thrown in the deal, because I think that's how my mind works with trades. Sometimes I'll give up a little more than I should if I know I can fill a hole through free agency and look at it as if I'm getting that player. As an Eagle fan, it hurt to let go of Ertz. He does wear Eagle apparel all the time. Hopefully he does well. State of Mind's a good guy too. He's like wishing us well on our trade. Like what other people do that? Most people are like, ah! Same to you, bro. You're a good guy, comma. You're the only one in this league that I want the trade to work out for both of us. LOL. And I'm live. If any of you are watching from the league, I'm sorry about that. No offense. But State of Mind's it. Actually, there are several good guys in this league. Joey from the fantasy analyst is awesome. Probably one of the nicest guys on Instagram, honestly. The analyst, I like him a lot. He's awesome. I felt bad not siding with him over the dropping Darwin Thompson debacle that the counselor ignited in the league and caused a big old controversy, because I felt like Joey deserved to have backing on that. He went to bat for me on a couple things, so I felt bad trying to be a good commissioner and say, hey, a guy dropped a guy, immediately said it was a mistake. The right thing to do is to reverse it if you want your league to survive. If you want to be a total douchebag and make somebody suffer, I think it could hurt the league. But anyways, I felt bad. That's true. I'll take care of your boy Cook. His name's Cook, not Cooks. Oh, he did correct it. Everyone calls Dalvin Cook Cooks. Let's get out of this 2-3 hole and make a playoff run. Attaboy. He's probably like, why are you reading everything live? Can't I talk private with you? You the man. So let's see. Smitty, 3 wide receivers and standard. Oh, Curbing, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Curbing, are you still in here? So, Curbing, my question to you was, you may have answered it, I apologize, but if you factor in the fact that it would pretend that he gives us Minshew. Good move. Trade Cooper for Tyreek and Singletary. That could work out, but you're 4-1. You might be able to afford that. But Cooper's already as good as Tyreek. Probably safer holding Cooper. But if you already did it, I wouldn't be opposed to that. But Curbing, if he sent us Minshew, Zeke, and Ertz for Brady, Singletary, and Cook, would you be okay with that? Curbing? Because Curbing was against the trade. I'm just curious if that free agent pickup that we have is an influencing factor for you, or if you look at trades solely on player for player being swapped. I don't. I tend to let the external factors play for me if they play in my favor, and I can get a deal done and say, look, waiver wire players are pretty good. I'll go ahead and give up more than I should because I'm aware of who's available on waivers. You got to think all different directions when you're doing a trade, in my opinion. So what do you think of that, Curbing? If he traded us Minshew with that, would you have been okay? Because we're gonna probably pick him up and get him. So good, attaboy, Curbing, and thank you for the super chat. Curbing Concepts, is that your business, by the way? I assume it is. If so, always appreciate the super chats and definitely interested I'm going to check out your business. Smitty, let's trade for Evans, Brissett's dad. Yeah, we could. Let's look at Evans. Let's not stop there. I was doing that earlier and I got sidetracked. I'm so excited we did a throne trade. It's hard to trade in a big league like this because a lot of people like to get their people involved. You on the IG league with the counselor, what league and where is he at specifically? I'm not quite following your question. Maybe reword that. But I started a league. It's my league. I'm the commissioner of it, and it's an awesome league. It's called the Throne League, and we let our followers draft our team. So there was probably over 600,000 followers at the time, more now because we've all grown as channels and pages. But over 600 followers involved. All right, so Evans. We can't trade a QB. We just lost our QB. All right, curbing, I'm going to check out your business. Curbing concepts, guys. Waller, we don't need a tight end anymore. It's so nice to say that. Been struggling with Witten and a bunch of crap. I don't know what we could offer him for Evans. So if we were to send him, like, let's say, ooh, the trade went through. Yeah, let's set our lineup first. Then we'll go to Evans. Look at this. Edit your lineup. Well, it isn't that special. Let's go ahead and put Zeke boy right in there. And let's go ahead and move Witten down for Ertz. Save that bad boy. And wouldn't you know how nice looking it, how much nicer is that team? I love Cook. I love Dalvin Cook, but I'll trade a player. Is the counselor in the league with you? That's what his record. What's his record like? I'll show you. Cruz, I got it right here. Mahomes, Kamara, Elliott, Woods, Josh Gordon. Obviously, we're thin at wide receiver, but we stacked Mahomes, Kamara, and Cook, which we turned into Zeke. And now we have Ertz. So, of course, we're going to be a little weak at wide receiver. And we've kind of been all over the map at wide receiver. We've had Watkins look like he was going to be a stud. DRob looked like he was going to be really good. Josh Gordon was back and forth. And Woods has been on fire lately. Woods has had, 164. He doesn't have any touchdowns, but I think he does get going there. DRob has been okay. I think he's a guy I'm not going to sit next week. I think it's going to be a shootout, so I'm going to definitely be starting DRob. I don't mind starting Watkins if they're both playing. I don't care if I get like 5 points or 7 points out of one if I think I could probably get like 15 out of the other. So I'm going to roll both of those guys out there. Josh Gordon's going to remain in there as long as he's healthy. He's got the Q tag this week, but he's going against the Giants this week. So I feel pretty good about our wide receivers. I don't think we're going to make any mess-ups on our bench unless Snell gets in there for whatever reason or something like that. I feel pretty good about this. We can drop Witten now. We're keeping Pollard. Darrell Williams we don't really need anymore. That's Darrell 1L Williams. That's not Damian, unfortunately. Hilliard, I might hold on to depending on who we can pick up, but freaking love this. Ertz for Evans, Brissett's dad said. That's not the craziest idea. Let's see what he has at tight end. I would do that. What if we turned Ertz into... Oh, what am I looking up Ertz for? What if we turn Ertz into Evans? I'd take that. Kind of like having the tight end, but I would definitely... So he has Greg Olsen. I don't know if he'd do that. We could try it. You guys want me to send that offer? Probably get rejected, but we could try. I should try going after Hopkins, too. So, what do you guys want to do here? Send the offer for... Jack is going to repeat his question over and over until I answer it, so I'm going to answer it. The Hopkins owner might accept good or bad trade. Smitty offered Evans and McLaurin for Hopkins. I take Hopkins, but that's me. Trade Gordon and Ertz for Evans and Waller. Josh Gordon or Melvin Gordon? Brissett said. Smitty offered Evans and McLaurin. I got you, buddy. Jack, I got it. I nailed it. I nailed did hit your question. Brissett's dad, tell me if it's Melvin Gordon. You guys got to give me specifics. Don't give me a long paragraph, but I mean, like, tell me if it's J. Gordon or M. Gordon. So am I sending this offer, which will probably get rejected? We get Mike Evans, we send Zach Ertz. You guys okay with that? I want to make sure we check with you. No problem, Jack. Are we doing it? Am I sending it? I know we got like a 10, 15 second delay. Melvin Gordon. It's okay, Jack. I'm looking for the Melvin Gordon question because now I don't have. Trade Melvin Gordon and Ertz for Evans and Waller. Melvin Gordon. I take Evans and Waller. Anybody going to answer this question? Keep Ertz, says Fernando, over Evans? Really? Ted Talk says try. Yeah, I don't. They won't accept it. Keep Ertz. Well, a couple of people saying keep Ertz. Wow. But sure, try. He has Waller. Oh, he does have Waller. Look at you, man. Yeah, he's not going to accept that. Let's go get Hopkins. Let's see who has Hopkins. Good eye on Waller. Or Hopkins. You. Look at you. There's no way you do that, Brissett's dad, but that's a good idea. Okay, so this owner has O.J. Howard. What other tight end do they have? Let's check. No other tight end. They're going to be dying to trade Hopkins. I'm trading Hopkins and Ertz. I'm doing it. I'm sending it. I know some people think Hopkins is busting. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. Trade proposal. Let's check in. Ertz and Hopkins. Okay. Nailed it. We're rocking it tonight. All right, any super chats out there? All right, guys. You know what this means. This means we have about 2 minutes of speed round questions. Ertz for Godwin. I take Godwin. Smitty, choose 3 wide receivers. Keenan Allen, Godwin, Fitz, Ridley. The show's ending. Ask your question quick. Make it short. I'm skipping long questions. I'm going to go with, on that question, Godwin, Allen, and probably Gallup for right now. If it's like more than one sentence, I'm skipping it. Ertz and Hops is solid. Yep. Godwin and Elliott for D. Adams, Juju, Damian Williams. I like Godwin and Elliott. You're too high on Hopkins. He's not going to last the season. I disagree. But that's why we're here. Sleep time. I agree. Smitty, choose 3. Already did that one. Who should I start at QB? Stafford or Kyler? Probably Stafford. Wait, who should I start? Where's that? Who should I start? Stafford, Kyler. Probably Stafford. Robert Woods or Hollywood Brown. Robert Woods is safer, but Hollywood Brown could have big appeal this week, so I almost say find a way to get them both in. Ertz or Chark. I go Chark safer, or Ertz is safer. Chark has higher ceiling, but could get you like 6-7 points. Keep us posted with the trade. Will do. Fuller or Ridley. I go Fuller off the momentum. Fuller really already answered that one. Brady, top 5 QB in terms of points. Could be. That does it for the show tonight. Thank you so much for all the super chats. I'm live tomorrow night right here. Right here. Every Wednesday on YouTube. Right here on this channel. So hit subscribe. Hit the bell. 10 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday. Thank you all. What an awesome night. we got to do a trade together in our league, the league that you guys drafted for me. Have a good night.